Now that you have your journal, it's time to start the work. Unpacking your thoughts and finding the root. First, take a sip of tea, take a sip of water. I got some coffee. And put your journal aside. Okay, shake out any wiggles. It's been an intense week of looking at the garbage. You probably feel a little stinky right now. Roll your head one way. Oh, mine just cracked. Roll your head the other way. Sit in whatever way is most comfortable for you. I'm standing right now because I've been doing a lot of freaking squats in my workouts and my butt hurts. So if it feels good for you, close your eyes. If not, find something to focus on other than my face. Just look ahead, look beside you, look at the ground, whatever. Become aware of your breath. Breathe in and out. The air and how it feels as it comes in. Cool on the way in, warm on the way out. Breathe in deep and hold it at the top and feel that tension in your belly, and then let it go. Notice if this feels difficult for you, and slowly exhale on the next breath. Breathe in deep again and hold it at the top. And as you exhale, let go of any judgment or things that might distract you. If you need to pause the video right now and get some headphones or close the door or whatever, move to a different location, do that. When the thought comes up while you're breathing, just say, "Hi, thought," and then push it in a box and deal with it for later. Don't try to ignore it because then you're going to get stuck there. So breathe in and out. Whenever something pops up, return to the in and the out. Sometimes I even say it to myself because it gives my whole brain something to do while I'm breathing in and out. And say these words out loud, even if it feels weird for you. I'm safe in and out. I am strong. I am secure. I am supported. And take one last deep breath, breathing in peace, support, and compassion, and exhale any fear and doubt and resistance. And if you get to the end of that meditation and you still feel stressed, go back and do it again until you just feel your energy come down a little. Unpacking our thoughts can be a gross process at first. It can feel like something you want to run from or hide from. I think of it like cleaning out the fridge, but in my soul. I freaking hate cleaning out the fridge. It is my least favorite chore. I would rather scrub the toilet with my bare hands after we've both been sick than empty rotten food out of the fridge. I just freaking hate it. It just drives me nuts. I don't know what the deal is. It's gross. So, those things are hidden, they're tucked away. You don't know how stinky they are until you take the lid off. They're hidden clues to our pain that once served us, like the good, delicious, original food that was in my fridge, but have since spoiled and need to be cleared out. They're not bad. They're just no longer right for me. They're no longer good for me. Those leftovers, the nasty ass leftovers in my fridge, they go in my compost, right? This is a really great analogy, and I didn't even think of it while I was making up this example. Bear with me. The compost goes into our garden, okay? And then rats eat some of it, worms eat it, and then they poop it out, and they make this nutrient-dense soil that grows all of our freaking vegetables, okay? So this is just like things that no longer serve you. You get rid of them. They go back to where they came from. They don't serve you anymore. You create space and a nutrient dense spiritual atmosphere for growth and for new things. So we need to empty all of that out to make room for the new. So congratulations on getting through all the junk. And for the purpose of today's exercise, I want you to choose the thought from this past week that seems the least scary to take on. That is from your negative pile. The pile that you're not like, oh, that was a great day. I want you to take a challenging one, but I want it to be the least freaky outy. So if you need to pause and do that, go ahead. And then it's really important though, because I don't want you to try and lift the heaviest thing you've got before the basics are covered. So now that you've got your thought, turn to a new page in your journal, write today's date on it and the thought at the top. The date is important because it's like a contract. Later, when self-doubt and anxiety resurface about this thought, because it's not going to magically be healed the moment you cure out the yuck, right? So like when you get a cut and you clean it and you bandage it, it still takes a little while to heal, right? It'll still hurt if you bump it or whatever. This is the same thing. You're not going to magically be cured, but you will be aware, and in being aware, you'll be less reactive, and eventually it'll be healed and you'll be fine and that won't bother you anymore. So this is part of being a human. You'll have a specific place to come back to and be like, wait, subconscious. Hello, we did this. It's like here. Let's go back there. Let's revisit this. Let's go through these truths. So I want you to answer these questions about your thoughts. You can go ahead and look at the workbook. It'll help you with some of this. What was I physically doing when this thought or reaction happened? Was I relaxed? Did my muscles tense? Did I hold my jaw? Was I hungry? Did I feel nauseous? Was I tired? Was I talking with someone? Was I watching TV, listening to music, at work, alone? What happened just before the thought? So sometimes it's hard to find what the catalyst is, but if you can go back to just before, like what was happening immediately before, did a person say something or do something that caused a reaction? Write down as much as you can remember, even if it feels insignificant, because these are the clues. And remember to try to engage your senses. This is also really good if you have a hard time with memory. This will be a really good exercise for you to do, because you'll be surprised what you can remember when you think, what did the air taste like? I know this sounds silly, but all of these things, what did the air taste like? What did it smell like? What noises was I hearing? What was I feeling? Like, did I have goosebumps? Did I feel sweaty? Did I get cold? Was the hair standing up on my neck? All of these things are clues as to how you were feeling. How did I feel physically after the thought? So immediately before, I'm walking down the street. We're pretending COVID isn't a thing. I'm walking down the street. I'm feeling good. I'm like listening to music. And then I see this dude. And all of a sudden, he's not doing anything. He's not bothering anybody. He's not even dangerous. He's like on the other side of the street. I'm over here. Nothing's going to happen. But I get scared. And I have to figure out why later. But all of a sudden, I'm fearful, right? I'm walking down the street. And I shut off my music, but I leave my headphones in, and I look down and I start walking quicker, and like I'm upset, and my heart goes up, and I get sweaty, and blah, 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 blah. All of these feelings are important. How do you feel now remembering it? Do you feel similar to then? You'll remember the who, what, when, where, why from your school days. The who is you and the person or people involved. The what is the facts. The where is your body and where your mind goes, and the why is the work. So, why did you think, respond, and act like you did? And when else have you felt like that before? Ask why of every single thought until you get to the last one and there's no more digging to do. And this is why I said it can be a lot of work. So, that example. Why did I respond that way when I saw this random guy who was just minding his own business going for a walk? He was wearing a blue jacket. Why does a blue jacket bother me? Well, it reminds me of this other time when my brother and I were walking home, okay, and a kid in a blue jacket robbed us, stole my brother's shoes and his jacket and his, like, whatever. It was a Walkman. It was like the 90s. I was 12 years old when that happened. I haven't thought about that in years, and yet, at 34 years old, I see this guy walking down the street, and I'm still afraid of someone with that body, that body type, that body language, that build, because of something that happened like 22 years ago, right? That I'm still allowing to have power over me. And that poor guy over there didn't do anything wrong. So why does that bother me so much? Because I felt unsafe. Was I unsafe? Not at all. I was perfectly safe. In fact, we have cell phones now, so I could call for help if I needed to, but that's besides the point. So that's just one little tiny example. Another example is when my phone rings. I keep my ringer off because I haven't healed this part of my life yet. When my phone rings, I get really anxious because most of the time in my life, phone calls equaled bad news, and I don't want them. I mean, nobody does, but so I get crazy anxious about all of that every single time my phone rings. So I just don't even use the ringer anymore, right? Phone calls aren't what makes me anxious. I answer the phone when it rings. It's just on vibrate or in silent, and I see it ringing because the nature of my job, I'm on my phone all the time. So, I want you to ask why for whatever the next thought is until you hit the bottom. And if you need help, reach out to me. I'm absolutely here for you. I'll see you in Module 3.